Today, I'm watching a podcast right now, and they're talking about is the black man king or is he a god? Excuse the puppies as usual. They know when the camera's on. And I just want to say this. I believe and know that the black male is the number one man. I know that for sure because I see it in myself every day. I've seen it in other people. People that have noticed they are awake enough to notice that, or woke enough, to notice that they are a higher power. I see it on TV. I've watched it in athletes all my life, and I became one at a very early age, and I actually believe I was born that one. But I believe that you go throughout life and you have parents, situations in life that will tell you the way that they treat you, that you are who you are as a person. You come in from your spirit, wherever you come from, heaven, the skies, wherever, below, whatever it is, wherever the alpha God is, the king God, the God of gods is, or creator. That's what's really what we should be calling it, the creator. They give you a purpose. I think you negotiate that purpose wherever you come from, and you say, all right, or you're given a job, and you're said, all right, your mission is to do this, complete this, do this mission, and you go out there with. Now I watch Soul. Okay, maybe I'm reaching, but I don't think so. Excuse my pants. The dogs got me. But anyway, I believe you have a purpose when you're born, and you're simmering on that purpose, and while you're in the womb. Because what are you really dreaming of? You know what I mean? I watch these dogs, and I'm like, they're speaking of the devil. I'm sitting there thinking, what are they thinking about? What are they dreaming about when they're running and barking and growling in their sleep? What could a baby actually be dreaming about? And I think it's like their purpose. What do they think? They're thinking about the purpose of their mission. Yeah, they might not consciously know when they're alive, moving around, that they're supposed to be doing these things, but they are the most natural. Animals are the most natural if they're not confined. We control their purpose, whether we know it or not. Yeah, they have their personality, but that's your purpose. Your personality is your purpose. You know what I mean? And a lot of people get stunted, such as myself, by family, environment, just life being life. All right, but you get people that go out of their way to stop you, and it's called parents. They've lived life for a little bit longer than you have, and they believe that they know what's best for you. But sometimes they're stunted by it's all trauma. So when Kanye says slavery was a choice, I think of it as what we're living in is modern day slavery. We argue with our women, we hate going to work, we pay bills, we're just confusing ourselves. You know what I mean? We're we forgot our purpose because of these things that they're doing. It's called a demon. They're demons that are causing you to do other things than what you're supposed to be doing. Now, do they know that they're demons? Not always. But some people have agendas and things that and get drunk off of power, and they don't allow you to find out what your purpose is. Not everybody's purpose is to do something major, but it could be something that would help that area, that town, that state, that, you know what I mean? It just gets bigger and bigger for certain people. Now, I believe, because I am that person, that I had a higher power. I had a higher power giving me a job that I had to complete at a young age. And I totally got off that. Excuse me, I had to turn these lights on. I don't know why I'm turning these ones on, but I like having a little something in the background. But anyway, we forget our purpose with all these things, these functions, these daily functions, and we find other things energies to project our energy off of, whether it's negative, positive. We inherit toxicity, trauma, and which cause us to now live in a slavery by being stuck to bills, stuck to, I'm not gonna say family, but stuck to a family that you're not really 100%, sold on. Like a woman, if you made a bad decision before you realized what life was all about, you were just out to have fun. But you got those adult consequences, and you get stunted because of that. So you're always stuck at a certain age, whether you believe that you're acting a certain age by making money, or doing what you got to do, and they fall to the wayside. People that are, let's say you don't have kids, you, like myself, you're me. I'm always talking about myself as I really think about this, but this is what I've just been researching and thinking of, thinking of my own. I'm not researching much of anything. I find it on YouTube and I just bring it up as a topic, but I find myself thinking and dreaming and acting on things that people my age can't do or shouldn't do or won't try, because they don't want to suffer the consequences of failing. I know my purpose. I already know what it is. I just couldn't get to it because some people, family, knew my purpose, and it was just too big for them to understand or see or even want to really believe it was possible. What's impossible for some is possible as hell for some. That's what a chosen one is. A person that is meant to do something with their life, and if they somehow, some way get off of that track, they become less of the person that they are, and they lose their soul, kind of, sort of like myself. So I believe that me going off and experiencing things in the military and then trying to bring them back, like, for instance, I seen crypto in Japan when I was there. I came back and I was screaming crypto, crypto, crypto. And yeah, we're like 6, 7, 8 years behind them in China. I'm realizing they tell us we're the biggest, baddest, but we come out with a new iPhone every year. Can't be the biggest, baddest. You trying to capitalize off of capitalizing. You're monopolizing, and causing us to be stuck in our phones, which is another modern day slavery. Being stuck behind the TV, the stupid tube. You're stuck behind a book. I don't care what you're talking about. You can retain that information, but you spend so much time being drunk off of that falsehood of that book, and maybe you're reading mysteries and whatnot. Now I know I go to sleep listening to podcasts, and I could tell the difference of how I wake up when I listen to gospel, or if I end up listening to a mystery, a murder mystery, or some Appalachian mystery, which I love now. But I mean, I've always been into the deep woods, and because I suffer from, do I want to just hide from the world, or do I want to go out and be like, oh, here I am, da, 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 you know what I'm saying, and be fully my purpose? I think that, like I said, with parents and other the environment that you're built and born and become traumatized from, you forget your purpose that you were sent here to do. Life happens, things happen. It's not your fault sometimes, but I think that people need to be more conscious of what they're doing so that they can get themselves out of the modern day slavery. Like, look, we're over arguing amongst women about if they make more money, does the man feel less than? I think that even, like, at this point right now, men are females and females are men. Just because men get to a certain age, yeah, we start off early. We may be doing some things to make some money when we're young, but you have a kid or you get a girl and you start to get traumatized by that relationship, whether you stopped moving the same way and you started giving, or you had a kid, or, you know what I'm saying, you get traumatized. That's trauma, regardless if you believe it or not. You're then traumatized by that relationship, and then when you break up with the person, you stagnatized and traumatized your account because that money could have been going towards something else. Now, women, they keep their money to themselves. I'm not trying to be sexist or nothing, but they keep their money to themselves. They're learning as they're going. You know, all right, I'm not going to give it to somebody that looks like this. I'm not going to do this to some, you know what I mean? But men, what are we really learning? I think we get so drunk off of being able to access the body so much, or we're so traumatized. We realize that it's at a late age that we're traumatized. Women face that throughout their time because they're getting traumatized at a young age because they've always been looked at as like regardless from what I'm seeing, how things are giving me all this information now, where you got to be so protective of your daughter. She's learning all the traumas in life from her father, mother, the environment, and she's being taught how to navigate, whether she's getting taught from another female, she's getting taught from her family, she's getting taught from her parents, getting taught from even just her learning. Women are known to swallow their trauma and deal with their trauma. No pun to what I just said, but to deal with their trauma a lot earlier than men are, because we're told to be strong, go play sports, you go do this, and then by the time you look up, you got a family, and you didn't even realize how to deal with having a relationship with a kid, yourself, the inner you, the inner child. So then that child comes out trying to raise this child, and you sit back and be like, damn, I'm traumatized. And a lot of people run from that. They don't want to come to their reality, the truths, and what really is causing them to have them swinging nights in the morning, you know what I mean, while they're sleeping. You know, those nightmares. A lot of people they don't want to deal with having a face look in the mirror and stare in their soul and be like, what's going on? A lot of people don't want to, a lot of men don't want to cry or, write down their feelings or, rant and rave, however way you got to vent. So you carry that throughout a long period of life before you realize, like, yo, I'm going through some things, and the ladies already went through it. And then they got to school, and then, you know what I'm saying? They got through school, they may have did what they had to do to get to a certain job. They learn how to invest, or women just have a better leg up on us right now, because for one, you, like I said, your parent could be traumatized. So it could be your mom with her own agenda, like she's just a feminist and she don't like men. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have a father who's hiding something that, you know what I mean, and it could burden you as a child, as their child. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he could also have animosity amongst his, brother or some childhood, something that causes him trauma. So it is a modern day slavery if you really, really think about it. And it's not helped by us listening to the music that we listen to. Rap music, they haven't to have R&B in how long? I haven't really heard R&B in a long time. Actually, I started thinking about R&B because I saw Day 26. Shout out to them. Album was fire. But we need to get back to being the original people and not arguing with our people. We're so caught up in being stuck, traumatized. That's why we like to drink. It's like we like to, not be so classy. That's why we like to do certain things that we know we shouldn't be doing, and we're brainwashed to think it's the right way, to show that we are winning in life, or we're doing well, or you know what I'm saying, or we had a hard day, without showing that we're hard. Without showing that we're soft. A lot of the times people do things to make other people feel comfortable around them, or to survive situations or whatever. It's all traumatizing. It's all modern day slavery, because you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to deal with it. You can get up like I did and leave and be in your own area and be, just tell people I'm not really interested in getting to know people, right now. Like I'm sorry to sound rude, but you have to take a step back sometimes and go through your traumas and realize what's going on with you, to see what's going on with the world and how it's systemically put it together to put it be that way. I know I'm talking kind of deep for people, but I'm saying what we're going through as black people or Americans, whatever, it was all placed there for a reason. to modernize slavery, especially to the black people. Because when I look at it, what's the better way to put somebody in jail than to tell them that they're angry all the time, lock them up? You see all that trauma, and then your father carries that to you or to your mother, and y'all start traumatized. It's trauma bonding. Then you have that with the kid. You dump that trauma off on that kid, even though that kid is like the most gully, outgoing person. You know what I'm saying? This person might have the best soul in the world, and the parent may not be happy at that time in life because they didn't get a hug from the father, or they didn't get a hug from the mother, or they didn't, blah, blah, blah. Something's going on, some kind of friction is going on, and they dump it on the child instead of facing it. Accountability is a lot of the reason why we're in the situation we're in, and it's only because of generations before. Do rich people have problems? Yes. Do spiritual people have problems? Yes. But what I'm saying is, if you are willing to face some of your fears and some of your traumas of generations past, it can make you a more solid person for today, right now, the present moment. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've been going through for the past 5 years. I just been, up to 5 years now. I just been focusing in on what is making Marcus happy. What makes Marcus completely Marcus again? So one, leaving my area, my town. Get out of there, guys. Come on. Getting out of my area, my town. Then having these puppies, like I have people that knock at my door to give me food. You know what I'm saying? Like beautiful older ladies and friends that across the street from me that I've known from the military. I feel like it's just signs that showing me that I'm doing the right thing. Like I'm still so focused on what I'm trying to do, but I still make time to, let the people around me that I care for know that I still care for them and I love them. But I think, like I said, I lost my purpose because I had, parents that really weren't interested in me living that type of life, not knowing that you can't play God. Yeah, you might have been the middle child and you might have been scorned by some things, hurt by some things, traumatized by some things, but you don't have to, make your own world and try to stuff somebody in it. You can have them in there for a little while, but they're gonna want to break through if they have a soul and they know that they have a purpose. So I believe that it is all modern day slavery in some way. It's easy to title it, label it that, but somebody had to think of it. Somebody had to plant this music, this stuff, and this toxicity around us. And I don't really see too many people that are lighter than me dealing with the same type of issues. So it's all modern day slavery. Sorry to say. And until we get out of the brainwash that we put ourselves in and go back to an organic life, which means hunting and gathering, but the modern day version, breaking yourself down, eating better. I can't say too much because I eat candy and I drink my green tea with crazy sugar in it. But until we start doing more yoga, stretching our body out, strengthening it the proper way, doing more calisthenic stuff, writing again, getting as close to the ground as much as possible, we're gonna always be behind but also forward at the same time, if it makes sense. What I mean by all that is you forget what made you you and what makes you you by them giving you this technology and putting it in front of you. Now, if you're not using it the proper way, you can get caught up. And I'm just thinking to myself, you become a slave behind the video game, whether you're making money off of it or not. You become a slave behind the text messages, waiting for that phone call from that girl or that guy. You know what I'm saying? You become a slave to the technology and a slave to the modern day way of thinking. But if you get stripped of all that stuff, who are you? That's what I've been experiencing, and that's what I've been doing my experiment with since I got home from the Navy. Once I really started thinking about what was going on around me, I wanted to strip myself of everything You know, the clothes, going out, meeting the women, the car, you know, the lifestyle. I just want to strip myself from it and just go back to like, who am I originally? So I mean, I don't. I put that as a challenge to everybody out there to like just find out who you are, break yourself down. Like you don't have to do it to the extremes that I did, be in your car, starting all over again, living in somebody's house. Like you know what I mean? Like you don't have to do it to that extent, but I had a purpose. I have a purpose, and I felt like my calling was to do it the way I did it, and you know, I was taking a major jump and a major leap, but I think my story is deep. If you really, if I ever get the chance to actually write it down and like put it in a movie, I think it'll really sell. Once I give myself a name, I will build my brand a little bit more, and that's what I'm doing behind the scenes. I'm working on my body, working on my mind, working on the way I think. Not trying to be so toxic, negative. Get rid of the old way of thinking, because believe it or not, every location that you go to has their own way of thinking. Every religion has its own way of thinking, and that's also another way of entrapping you. Entrapment. I'm not a slave to any one religion. Sad to call it that, but I'm not a slave to any one religion. I'm not a slave to any one way of thinking, other than the things that I really realized that work for me. Working out, staying true to myself, staying true to whoever the higher power is. Those things are instilled in me and they'll never go anywhere. Family, kids, you know what I'm saying? Like I have to rebuild my family, so that kind of takes a back burner, but these dogs are my family now. You know what I'm saying? Those are my sons, those are my children, those are, you know what I mean? Like those are my miniature, that's my life, you know? So, and that also represents my personality. So the way that they act is the way that they could possibly see me or get the energy from me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not treating them right, they're gonna run away from me. So if I don't have the proper energy when I wake up, whether I'm mad that I'm waking up at 4 o'clock to bring them outside, they know my energy. And if I keep on giving them that same energy, they're gonna think it's cool to be that energy. So then I gotta worry about them outside if they slip out the door, and would they, you know, use that whatever energy on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or another dog or a cat, or you know, like, so it's about your energy as well. All that is to not protect your energy. Everything that they give you, the modern day life, modern day living, us rushing into things, not being mature enough to understand or remove our ego or our emotions to figure out things and figure out the game of life. It causes us to be traumatized, and we're stuck at whatever age that first happened to us that we did not face it at. So I know that I'm growing to be I'm closer to 40 than I am 30. So, and I don't have kids and I'm not married, but I also don't want to put that product out there and it not be ready. But in my case, I don't have much time for what I'm trying to do. So I need to go ahead and hurry up a little bit more. So I'm stretching more, you know what I mean? I'm doing the healthier things to make my body recover. I'm not going out drinking and, you know, because that would only bring me down. You know, I've never seen somebody say, yo, I had a drink, I'm energized. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had drank a whole bottle, yo, I'm energized. Nobody ever says that. Nobody ever says, oh, I drank a whole bottle and I felt real good in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I know if I do a workout, I know I'm gonna feel good as hell in the morning. Maybe I might be sore a tiny bit, but I know that I did what is necessary to keep that heart pumping. You know, say I keep all that junk food, all that fat just running through just dumping out my body. You know what I'm saying? I keep it real with you. I take about 3-4 shits a day, you know, because that's keeping myself regular. That's nothing getting stuck in my body other than my face. My nose is crazy, but it's just I'm just learning more and more about myself, and I'm learning more and more about like how the world works by listening through politics. And I'm not afraid to give something a chance to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that are instilled in me, you know, me being straight and me not, you know, ever, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's not jump back on that. But anyway, I just there's certain things about yourself that are etched in your soul and you can't take back. But there are some traumas that you can go back to that little person and go give them a hug. And what I mean by that is stretching, meditation, eating as well as you possibly can, working out, because after a while you're gonna realize that that workout or the way you eat coincide, and the better you eat, the better you feel about yourself, and the way you work out. Like nobody ever said, "Yo, I hate that workout, man. That made me feel worse." Like in a week, you're not gonna remember it, whether you liked it or not. You're not gonna remember that workout. You never really schedule. Oh shit, we had a great workout on February 15th, 2018. Nobody's gonna say that. Nobody's gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? They want the reward of having a great body, having a great ticker, being able to move however they want to do whatever is special in their lives. So like I said, what's special to me is getting back on this court, playing basketball, meeting people again, becoming the name that I know I'm supposed to be the purpose that I'm supposed to be, to live. And I realized through all the stuff that I've gone through, the traumas that I've gone through, I still look amazing. I still look young. I still act young. I'm very spry. I think I move better than I did when I was 18. And I'm, like I said, closer to 40 than 30. And I've always believed this stuff about myself, that I was a superhuman, I'm an alien, I'm a super freak. And everywhere I go with a bad body has confirmed it. It has confirmed it. If you see me walking down the street, I look better than most people walking down the street. You see me on the treadmill, you see me in the gym. Like everywhere I've gone to try to challenge myself a little bit, I've gotten results, and astronomical results in what I was trying to prove to myself without even trying. So I told myself, if I apply more to anything, any effort, that I'll have exactly what I want. So I said, let me go ahead and break my body down. And I told myself to move to California. And I stretched. I started stretching, getting my body loose, because I was really, like I said, I was a rock. I was just stuck. Like my hand, you know what I mean? I had arthritis all over my body from my foot injury that I got back when I was 18. I didn't want to face it. I went to the military. I got, my feet got worse. I never worked on my legs. Everything just got compounded. And I allowed myself to be a prisoner in my own body. So I became a slave to my pain, a slave to my then thoughts, because of the pain will cause you to change the way you think. It'll change your whole purpose. It'll change the way your mood, your energy, your everything. And no matter how nice I wasn't as nice as I could have been to people. You know what I'm saying? Because of the irritability of being traumatized through all those car accidents, all those, mishaps with life, you become traumatized, and I became miserable, and I found myself drinking all the time. But once I got rid of all that, I started feeling better. I started being able to get my body. I had more time for things that I didn't want to do. And I had to force myself into doing what I didn't want to do to make myself feel better, like I wanted it to. So that's why you see me doing rings. You might see me I'm just doing gymnastic stuff. I'm working out all the time. I'd rather die from working out than to die from a heart attack or a stroke. I've seen it too many times in my family. I've seen it too many times from my family. I don't want to say my father got his chest cracked open. I'm good. I'd rather keep myself in shape by going to the gym or working out here, chasing the dogs, doing calf raises, whatever I got to do. I know I can do it free. I don't need a gym. I don't need any of that stuff because I've already done that. I've done that. So I realize that I'm a god in myself. I'm a king in myself. I'm the king of gods on this earth if I want to be. By treating myself the proper way, treating other people with respect, you know what I mean? Like just smiling, just being in a vicinity, a place, I could change the mood of a whole room. I've done it. I've gone to the gyms that I thought were, the Mecca, and became that person. For just the little hour and a half I was there. You know what I'm saying? So and that happens everywhere I've gone. Every place in the world that I've gone. I haven't gone too many places, but I've gone more places than most. And I'm thankful for that because it may open up my eyes to the true value that I have, the potential value of earnings. And I realized how tall I am compared to people, how big I was, how strong I was, how, you know what I mean? People always compliment on your eyes or your smile or your teeth or your, you know what I mean, your beard or whatever, your body. And these people just, so if more than one people are saying, I always have a saying, if more than one person says something to you that you've heard over and over again and they're not connected at all, then you should listen. And that's where I realized that, especially when I went to LA, I had to go check. That was a heat check. Bro. I had to do that for nothing. Go see what it's like to be around these people, these stars, and see how they react to you. And they reacted crazy to me. You know, they acted really well. If I would have stayed there for like a year, I know things would have really popped off, but that's not my energy right now. I just wanted to fix my body, and I could do the acting thing and modeling thing anytime, because if I'm good looking right now, God forbid I go through an accident or something where it messes up my face, but I don't do much of shit. So I think I'm gonna only get better and better, and treat myself better, treat others better, and have my whole environment around me better. So then I never know what it's like to feel down again. That's the goal. Whether you believe it or not, you think it's like, me being arrogant, stubborn, delusional. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm living in, and this is what it's always been. And whether I noticed it or not, and I'm just putting my crown on, and I'm ready to be the king that I'm supposed to be. And I just started having to realize that this world is not a game. This world isn't fun. This isn't, but it can be fun if you get rid of your trauma and your emotions and allow yourself to just think for a second. We're a slave to the music. We're a slave to the technology. We're a slave to everything. Is all systematic. This is hell on earth, whether you believe it or not. And it only gets better for the richer. The people that have money can level up. And I think that's the reason why they feed you this, there's a higher power, the gatekeepers, this and that. I believe there's gatekeepers, of course, but you can't just let anybody walk through the door, bro. You can't just let anybody in. You know what I'm saying? So, and some people just slipped up and started doing, demonic things. Some people started doing, demonic can be anything. Going beside your morals, your ethics, your, integrity, things like that. If you go against those, that's what's called selling your soul. But I feel like a lot of people say that to just project and to get you to stop doing something that they know that they're afraid to do themselves. So, like I said, yes, it is modern day slavery, but I also feel like you allow yourself to be. That's because I believe that you allow yourself to be in the game, the rat race. And when you're stuck to the rat race, you are steady trying to fix a hole that you didn't put there, or somebody else put there for you, or you made because somebody else put you in a hole. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I took away myself from my environment that I'm used to, my home, because I started realizing that the people I was around was only putting me in more of a hole, whether it was emotionally, whether it was physically, whether it was spiritually, whether it was physically, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I may have said it several times, but I noticed that the people around me were giving me more trauma than they probably even had on themselves, because they didn't notice that they were doing it. So I became a slave to my empathy. Look at your boy. I became a slave to my empathy, and my sympathy that I had for them kept me stagnant. So now, with me being away, and me realizing that when you're down, nobody's gonna save you, other than maybe a few. Not everybody's gonna come try to save you, especially family and people that you grew up with, because they believe in their heart of hearts that they're just like you, or if not better, because they got the notes from you. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's just learning one thing from you, they've taken something from you. They've taken the energy from you and maybe made it better, or made it, they exposed it quicker, or they, gave it away, sold it, whatever it is. They did it before you did. And I realized that I was just giving away free game, free gems. So I had to come someplace where I was accepted, so that I didn't feel like I was being used, So I was making myself a modern day slave. So I think that we lose our purpose, we forget our purpose because of the traumas of curses past, and whatever spiritual being that you believe in. But it's a negative, toxic energy, and what's toxic about it is that people don't even know it's there. So it continues to keep jumping to person. They give you movies about all this stuff all the time, and it's just up to you to pay attention to it. So that's why I remove myself from people, because they're not really trying to think the way I am, and just because I'm chilling here, and it may seem like I'm not getting the results that you expected from a person that thinks like this or looks like this or whatever it is, doesn't mean I'm not doing my work to get there. I just choose to work a little bit longer and a little bit harder on what I'm, because I've lost a lot of time. So I got to make a huge bang. I'd rather make a huge bang when I step out than to have longevity and it just be crap. That's just not me. I don't like crap anymore. I don't do that. I've always wanted the most extravagant thing, and I believe that I'm deserving of that. So I will be here every day grinding like I am all the time to get myself mentally prepared for whatever comes that God or whoever puts in my way, my king, my God, my version of God, whoever that may be. To you go find that, because other people are going to do their best to project and put their evils off on you. And don't worry about if there's Illuminati or wherever you're trying to go. Worry about that when you get there. As long as you're pure in your heart, bro, they'll know. And you know what I'm saying? So that was a lot of the reason what kept me back, like thinking that, there's somebody that's gonna, blah, blah, blah. Because I knew what kind of person I was. I knew my personality. I know my stature. I know how I project myself to the world. I know how marketable I am. But now that I have a story, I'm even more marketable. So I have no choice but to really get this done, because I feel like I'm getting a swift kick in the butt if I don't. And that's the reason why my body fell apart, is because I'm not living up to my physical standards, my purpose, my physical purpose. So I've only felt better since I started doing this journey, getting on this journey and being serious about it and vlogging. I don't really make too many long-term videos or long-form videos, because I really just rather just keep grinding, keep working, because right now it's keeping me from stretching, and right now my hips are like really, like my stomach is still like in my leg. It's from all those twisted ankles, and then the car spinning and dumping on its driver's side back when I was 21, and not wanting to face it, because I was dealing with trauma at home. I was dealing with trauma, and I didn't have the comfortable space to start stretching, without somebody saying something to me, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So that was me continuing the trauma, continuing my slavery, financially, physically, mentally, spiritually, physically, by not facing the facts that I need to put in work to fix my body, or I need to go see that therapist, or I needed to go and look on YouTube at that time, whatever it was. So like I said, every person is going through their own version of the modern slavery, and I feel like, especially with us having battles with women, our women are having a hard time. It's like, look at us, we're fighting amongst each other about who's the alpha. Like, did they do that in caveman days? No, but we're also modern. So, like I said, the women are just either able to cover up their trauma really well and still get the grades and get the job, and you know what I'm saying, or men just are not men anymore. And I can't fault them. If you're tired of being rejected or whatever the situation is, I can't fault you. Because I'm doing my own little version of hiding and get myself together. But hopefully you are taking it to the extent, or close to the extent, that I am, because I know when I step out at 39, 40, a couple months from now, whenever it is, I'm gonna be the most amazing version of myself. And even I'm gonna be afraid, because I look in that mirror now and I'm like, damn, who the hell is that? And I don't even have my body tight like I'm supposed to, but my mind is there, my spirit is good, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm working more and more and more at it, so just be working to something. Just be don't take the most positive out of what your situation is. Whether it's the most negative thing that's going on, think about how to get out of it. If you just made $100,000 or whatever, you just cashed a check or whatever have you, think before you go out and spend it. And think about some future stuff, like how do I get into making money when I'm not a week. You know, make money or whatever. But how do I go back in history and see what was really supposed to be taught to you in school? That's what I'm doing, you know, going to yoga, stretching, this stuff. I just sit here on YouTube and it just sends me stuff, and I'm just like learning new things about the world. And then I have the way I think about things, and become, you know, into my goals. I write them down, and I say, yo, if I get my body right, then I'll be happy to go out, and then the energy be even better than what it is with my back all messed up. So then somebody's gonna be willing to bring, you know, like it's just, you don't, like, we don't face our traumas because we don't know they're there, and we're so brainwashed. So if you take a step back from life for a little while and the way that you usually live, you'll see there's a lot of things that you're covering up by living so fast. Now I get it, but I just wanted to put that out there. Respect yourself, love yourself. You are the god of your skin and then your soul. All right. So, and there's nobody a goddess. You are nobody. You're one of one. And there's nothing wrong with being one of one, but you have to be able to pull up your pants and tighten up your boots, you know, or tie a tie, you know. And a lot of people can't even do those things metaphorically for themselves. So I've been working on that while other people have been out having fun and doing all these amazing things. I'm happy for you guys. That's why I make sure I hit the double tap, because I'm never salty that somebody's doing something that I feel like I should be, you know, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I should be not tapping for it. I'm happy for everybody. I give people hearts. They probably think, oh, this gay, you know, I don't really care. I just want people to think that, or know that I'm there and I support you, because I really do support you. And if you can't see that my heart is pure, then you need to start going to church and getting on your knees and praying, because you are just, you're missing out. Simple. I got big goals and they're gonna happen. And my goal is to be the sexiest man on the planet till the day I die. Straight up and down. Stop lying and capping for you guys. I'm the baddest motherfucker I've ever met in my life, and I've been some places. And my heart is pure. So take it how you want to. We're gonna get to where we're going, whether you want it to or not. It's gonna happen. And I'll be here working on myself and my dogs and getting my shit together completely. I want my Lamborghini, I want my Rolls Royce, I want my big old mansions in different locations, overseas, here, wherever. I want underground bunkers and all types that look better than the house. I want everything I deserved, and I'm willing to wait and keep grinding to get there. And if I gotta wait till 39, 40, I'll do it. But one thing for sure is that I'll be on that court dunking on your child very, very, very soon. Like I said, whether it's this year or next year, it's gonna happen. And it's gonna happen the way that I want it to. It's not gonna be some half-ass anything. It's gonna be dead-ass serious, chest to chest, knocking, and then I'm gonna point to you. That's your child? You better come out here and help him. You better come out here and help him. I'm telling you, you better. I'm what the NBA's been missing. They know it, I know it. And I'm gonna make sure that I get my body in order, because I'm gonna talk hellish when I come back. I'm telling you, there's no reason why a 39-year-old, 40-year-old should be out there whooping your ass like LeBron be doing. That just opened up the door for me to go do it. So I'm just smaller, so I gotta get my body, you know, a little bit more healthy, so I can really move how I want to. But best believe I will not be on that court unless I really believe that I could do it. And I already did it with a bad body against semi-pro play people and pros, ex-pro, you know, veterans. So give me the chance to get my body together so I can get these active pros and go to school to do it. You know what's gonna happen. King Mark is back. I just wanna let you know that. If you don't like the talking, you don't like how I speak, this is a league. This is something that I'm a generational talent. And I've been told it all my life, and I'm tired of not stepping into it. I'm tired of, trying to make my parents feel good or my brother feel good about himself or the people down the street, whoever. I'm tired of that. Here go the cocky nigga is back. He's back, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Even if I'm not ready right now, if somebody said, come check the ball, it's time to go. And I know that what I was dealing with back then ain't nothing like this person right now. This dude right here, I just got to work on the cardio, but I'm excited for what is going on, the achievements that I've been achieving spiritually, mentally, physically. I'm just excited. Financially, I'm excited for myself. I'm happy. I was thinking even when I wasn't thinking back when I went to the military. I was thinking when I wasn't thinking, and that can't be nobody else but God. So if He could do this for me, He can definitely do it for you. Don't be afraid to pull up your big boy pants and just take a step in the right direction, whether it's a half step or a quarter step. Just take a step. Just go ahead and go. You got this. If I can, I'll be there to support you. You know that. I'm nothing but positive energy. So those old days of me being mad about everything back in my day, parents and all that, whatever, man. I don't care. That's too much. That's too much burden for me to carry, and God told me to let that go. So here I am, the new modern, reborn, rebuilt version of myself, Marcus Ali, and I'm gonna put on the show. Love you guys.